Alright, we're going to make a 1-year review of my TYM T474 HST tractor. 1 year, I've put about 120 hours on it. As you see, the door's still open, nice and crisp. Let's see here. There we go. Door's still shut good. Everything still works as it should on it. Been using that here on our property and doing jobs and stuff with it. Been a really good tractor this far. I've lifted 2,000 pounds with it. I've lifted probably 1,800 pounds with it without even no counterweight on the back with the loaded tires. I have had a couple small issues with it. The battery went bad 6 months in with the interstate battery. Replaced it with the bigger one from O'Reilly's for their Superstars because me personally, I have good luck with those. I had to replace the circuit board on that WR long valve because it's in a dumb spot down there and got water in it. I replaced it. I put in the dielectric grease all around it and RTV sealed it up the best I could. Right there's my helper. That's right. Besides that, I hung up. Let me cut this thing off real quick. I hung up this fuel line right here because it was laying on top of the axle when I got it. Keep it. I seen it was a common issue, so I hung that up. Other than that, I haven't had any issues with it. I did have one other issue, but it was a me issue, operator error. I figured it out. So that's technically the only issues I've actually had with the tractor. And probably most of the hours just came on PTO between tilling and bush hogging. I've used the loader quite a bit. I've used the backhoe here and there. And I'm glad I didn't pay no more than what I did for the backhoe because I don't use it as much as I thought I would. But I still have lots of projects out here. Just gotta get the money to get the material to get them done. But besides that, it's been a great tractor. It's treated us well. I'd go buy another one right now. I bought it through Smith's Enterprises. They treated us well on a couple little warranty issues or whatever we had to deal with, like the WR long valve. They covered it, no questions asked. The battery I had to cover myself, and that's whatever. I put a bigger one in it anyways. But I'd go buy another one today, especially for the price of what you get with your money. Best bang for your buck, I think. Best value, whatever you want to say there, what you're getting out of a tractor. I can take the backhoe on and off as long as I don't have dirt shoved in the pocket down here where the subframe slides in, because if you get dirt and grass in there from bush hogging or tilling, you don't. That's right, and you don't remember that. You'll go right up in the backhoe on it, and it won't slide up in there. It will not slide up in there for nothing, and I happen to remember, oh yeah, it's got dirt in there. It hooks right back up. But absolutely my most favorite thing in the tractor is probably the seat and the ergonomics of the controls. And then my most favorite thing on the tractor is the 3-point hitch lever for going up and down back here, and the telescoping 3-point ends. It makes it we can switch attachments right around 5 to 10 minutes every time by yourself, no help. Favorite part about the whole tractor is that. I'll get in here, do a little operating here. I gotta push a couple of things up before I take the backhoe off and get my tiller on it. And I had somebody ask me if I'd buy another brand tractor. The only other brand I might buy is a Bobcat. Not because I think Bobcat's good or anything like that. It's because my wife works there and I get a discount. But even with a discount, I don't believe they can beat TYM prices. And I think TYM is a better tractor. Now, where Bobcat has TYM beat is Bobcat's dealership right by me and a lot of different places. And you can get stuff worked on a touch easier through Bobcat, especially if you have a wife that works there. It's a service manager. That helps. But besides that, I'm TYM all the way so far. I haven't had, it's been a great tractor in the year we've had it. And I put it through a lot of work, lifted a lot of big stuff with my grapple. I mean, big stuff and big stumps over there. You see how big those are? There's 4 giant ones over there. That's big as the front of the damn tractor. And I lift them up with the grapple and put them on the back of my truck. No issues whatsoever. I even lifted it all the way up in the air, the max height. Not one single problem. You can drive around like that. And when I went across the scale with them 4 on there, they weighed about a ton apiece. So it said it'll pick up 2,000 pounds without breaking a sweat. Hard to do this stuff with one hand here. You can see you can do double functions at once. And you can see I just did it. You go right back down 2 functions at once. You got to hit the sweet spot in the controls. But you can do 2 functions at once all day. People complain that you couldn't do that. I'm showing you that you can. You just gotta get the controls in the right spot. Irritates me a little bit on this tractor is the wind of the hydrostatic, but that's just something you gotta deal with most hydrostatic tractors. I haven't had any issues on none of that stuff. I pulled quite a bit of weight around with it. Only time I ever use high is if I'm on the road or if I'm running back and forth across here. I gotta do something really fast. Otherwise, in medium, like probably 80% of the time, and then in low, and the other 20% of the time. Anytime I'm doing something really hard to push or pull, I stick it in low just because I don't want to be working on the tractor. That's about the gist of it. If you weld a hitch on there like I did on the bucket, better weld that bar right across there for your skid steer quick connect, because it's not welded and you'll bend the bar forward. That's what happened to mine, pulling them trailers around. But besides that, it's been a fantastic tractor. I mean, I'd definitely buy one again. The only thing that's kind of concerning to me is I've seen a lot of people sitting on downtime waiting on parts for them right now. Hopefully that gets changed. It also seems to be what dealership you bought it from on how long you wait. Yeah, I've seen some people waiting like 12 weeks and stuff on the forums waiting on parts. And some of them for the simple parts like a starter and stuff like that. Like, holy moly, we shouldn't be waiting even a week for a starter. You should be able to get one of them same day somewhere. You can with most of the other brands. So the part issue is kind of a little scary. But also probably getting it worked on if you don't know how to work on one of these yourself and you don't have a dealership near you. You better make sure when you buy one from the dealership they got some kind of program that you can get these things worked on by another mechanic if you don't know how to do it. so far I fixed a little small issue myself that I can do that, but at the same time I was thinking I shouldn't have to do this. It is what it is. I ain't gonna get too much more in depth in that, but that's something you definitely need to check on before buying one of these, is getting parts and making sure if you can't work on it, you got somebody that can work on it. Because obviously that's important if you have an issue with the tractor. But besides that, like I said, it's been a great tractor. I'd buy another one. And I am not TYM affiliated at all. So I'm just a regular old guy who bought the tractor, myself. So got the old helper back here. She wants to ride on the basketball all the time. Something I kind of forgot there was I live in Indiana. Around Christmas we got down to -11 with a -48 or 50 wind chill, I believe. I had to get this thing out to move a couple of drifts around and something else, and it actually fired right up in those temperatures. It sounded like an old tractor diesel because it's an old mechanical engine, so it beat around, pinged around till it got a little temperature to it, and it was fine. I also took a piece of foam and blocked off the radiator up there where the screen slide in to help make the heat work good. It was blowing 50 mile an hour at that temperature outside, and I actually stayed warm in this cab with that foam in front of it. Did a pretty damn good job. So if you live in cold climates, it'll start up and keep you warm. And that mechanical injection motor, I really like it. And if you have trouble with your DPF, you can unbolt it and keep rolling, tractoring along. It's one nice thing you always hear about old tractors lasting 50, 70 years. It's because are all mechanical. There's no electronics on them, and that's what these motors are. There's old mechanical injected diesels, and they last forever. So that's one of the reasons I wanted that motor when I bought it. I could juke. So yeah, figured that might help somebody else out in the cold climate. And when it's blazing 100 degrees outside, it'll stay around 172 to 178 with normal operating. After doing a bush hog or heavy duty tilling or some heavy loader work, or maybe probably plowing a field with it if you're doing that, you'll see 200, 210 out of it when you're running it hard. I wouldn't even get worried with it until you start seeing 225 plus. At that point, I would start trying to ease up on it and let it cool down a little bit. But diesels can run 220, up to 225 all day long and never hurt them. And I drive semis for a living, and I've done hot shot and whatnot in the mountains out west, and ran trucks 225 all day long, non-stop. Never had one quit on me doing that. They actually seem to like that better than running lower temperatures. You actually almost get better fuel mileage. So, but that's about it. That's something I remembered.